What's up, you guys? Your boy John LSX, and we're back with another video, you guys. So today we're gonna be spraying high build primer on Otto's truck. We went ahead and finished all the body work all the way around, fixed the small little imperfections that we did found. I just left the paint store. I bought some guide coat. I'm gonna show you what the guide coat is, and I also bought some fiberglass for my burnout truck for the corners of the wings. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys right now what we bought at the paint store. So we're whipping my lifted truck today, but anyways, I bought some guide coat. You guys are probably wondering what is guide coat. I'll show you later on in the video. And I also went ahead and bought some short strand fiberglass for the corner pieces on my burnout truck as well. So I went ahead and just killed two birds with one stone. Anyways, let's go back to the shop. All right, guys, I went ahead and made it back to the shop. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera so you guys can see a little update on Otto's truck. So right here we have Otto's truck. All the body work is complete all the way around, all nice and smooth and flat. We fixed this one in the last video, as you guys saw. Tailgate done, roll pan done, driver's side, the top of the bed railings all complete, nice and flat and smooth. Same thing, we fixed the scratch that was here. I don't know if you guys remember. We also fixed that as well on the step side bed. The driver's side door is all complete. Roof as well. Took care of all the dents and also the fender. Popped out the dent and gave it a skim coat of light body filler, as well as a hood. All nice and flat. Now what Chula's doing right here is he's mixing up the high build primer. I'll show you guys the product and all that good stuff right now. But the truck is finally all masked up. We still got to hit it with wax and grease remover. We washed the truck, we masked it, and for those that are probably wondering about the overspray inside the hood, it is masked inside as well. Door jambs masked inside as well, so no overspray gets inside. All the way around. Since this is just an exterior paint job, that's what Otto requested, and that's exactly what he's gonna get. The truck's all masked up. We still gotta hit it with wax and grease, like I mentioned already, to remove any wax and grease that the panels have. For example, if I were to have any grease on my fingers and I touch it like that, as you guys can see, I left the mark. So the wax and grease remover removes all that stuff, so there's no fish eyes, any paint reactions down the line. But I went ahead and bought this short strain fiberglass, like I mentioned, for my burnout truck, and this is going to be getting applied on the corners right here. I'm also going to weld these shuts with a piece of metal, tack it all in, shave it, and then add some fiberglass as well to give it that nice slick finish all the way around from point A all the way to point B right here. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start mixing up the primer. I got Chula over here mixing it ready. All I gotta do is mix it up, and then I'll be talking about the primer that we're using and all that good stuff right now. The primer that we're gonna be using on Otto's truck is from the new paint store that we're working with. The paint store is called GM Auto Paints and Supplies, and this is their primer and their line that they offer at their paint store. It is a 2K urethane high build primer. So this primer, you guys, you go ahead and mix it 4-to-1. Let me go ahead and twist this for you guys. So it's 4 parts of primer, which is this right here, and then 1 part of their activator. So basically how you mix this up, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up a whole bunch. So meaning I wanna go all the way right here where it says 4-to-1, the 4, which is 4 parts primer, which is this right here, and then 1 part of activator, which was this one. So, which is this line right here. So primer, activator. So I'm gonna go all the way to the 7 of primer and all the way to the 7 of activator. Go ahead and mix it all up. Don't forget to always use your strainers, and then go ahead and put it inside of your spray gun and then spray. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up for you guys right now and show you how it looks like. So there we have our 4 parts of primer all the way to the number 7. Up next, what you wanna do is go ahead and grab your activator and then go all the way towards the number 7 right there. So right here, we went up to the primer. All the way up here, we went to the activator, and it's 4-to-1 mixing ratio, just how the directions on this gallon of GM 2K high build primer is. So there you go, 4-to-1. Now what we want to do is go ahead and mix this all up, mix it, and then after that, use a strainer and then put it inside of your spray gun. So probably you guys are wondering, what is Chulo doing right now? He is hitting the complete truck, all the panels with wax and grease remover. Like I mentioned already, wax and grease remover removes any grease, any oils, any wax off all the panels, getting ready to shoot our high build primer. And No, but anyways, that's what he's doing right now, is hitting the complete truck with wax and grease to remove all the wax and grease that the truck has. Even though we washed the truck a couple of times with all the process that we've been doing on it. But what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to go ahead and add our high build primer onto our new primer gun, which is this one right here. You guys are probably wondering, is called the Segolo, the Classic Pro XD. This is a primer gun. It's a 2.1 tip. Meaning it has a big fluid tip, the holes, so we could add and spray our high build primer. So this is a primer gun. I'll explain to you guys more and later on in the videos the difference between a primer gun, a base coat gun, and a clear coat gun. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and add our primer to our gun using our strainer and then start primering all the truck. Let's go, let's go. So when it comes down to shooting primer, you guys, the way I was taught and the way I learned is you want to go ahead and hit the areas that have body filler first. For example, you want to go ahead and shoot this area first, this area, and this area. All the areas get shot first. Why? Because body filler likes to absorb the primer. And if you guys don't do it, just go ahead and just do it like that. Shoot everything all at once. The primer will get absorbed by the body filler, and then it'll leave you that mark. Basically, it'll leave like it'll mark where your body work is at, basically. So this whole area, this whole edge will get marked. So what I'm going to do right now is start primering the areas that have body filler. Let's start with this one. Go ahead and shoot it. Like that. Move on to this one right here. And keep on going. So basically, I'm gonna go ahead and do that to all the areas that have body filler on the complete truck, and then I'll get back with you once I'm done with this step. So there you have it. I went ahead and shot the areas that had body filler, which is Bondo. I shot those areas first. And the reason why you want to shoot those areas first, because body filler absorbs the primer. For example, let me see if the camera will catch it. You see that area right there? How this looks nice and flat, and then it marked it where the body filler used to be at, right there. That's the reason why you want to go ahead and shoot those areas first, so it absorbs it. Now, step number 2 is you want to go back and hit that same area once again, get it all nice and covered, so those areas that had body filler doesn't continue to get stained or marked. But that is exactly what I was talking about. You can kind of see it on some areas. One right there, one right there. Some areas are still wet. For example, that one right there. And then this area as well. You see how it's starting to get all stained and it's starting to show where the body filler was at. You see that? That's the reason why you want to go ahead and shoot those areas first. And then step 2, go ahead and give it another coat around the same areas as well. Make sure you get those nice and covered. Once you see that the body filler is not staining on the primer anymore, that's when you go to the next step, which is shoot the whole truck with high build primer. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry and then give it that second coat of high build primer, and then hopefully it gets covered. If it doesn't, give it another third coat. By then it should be fully covered. For example, look at this one right there. You guys see what I'm talking about? How it leaves the indent or the print where the body filler used to be at. So basically what it's doing, the body filler is absorbing the primer and it's leaving that mark. So you want to go ahead and let that flash off and then keep on hitting it. Once you do that, you could go ahead and shoot the entire truck with high build primer. So that right there was a second coat of high build primer. Most of you guys are probably wondering, what is high build primer? So let me do a quick explanation on what that is. So high build primer is thick primer. Basically, it's to fill light scratches, pinholes, and small chips. It's basically, most people call it liquid Bondo out of a gun. So you're basically spraying a light coat of Bondo all over the areas of the truck to fill in scratches, pinholes, and small chips. For example, on the driver's side fender, these right here are scratches. So basically with the high build primer, once we shoot the third and final coat, is going to go ahead and fill all these up. So this primer, you guys, is very thick. That's why you need a primer gun. And this one is a 2.0. Let me see if the camera will catch it. It's a 2.0 tip, meaning it's a big nozzle. So when it's time to shoot the primer, it sprays out nice. But yeah, this stuff right here, man, it's thick. Look at that. Thick primer. Shout out to GM for letting us try out their new products at their shop. I'm gonna go ahead and leave their paint store and Instagram down in the description below. But that is it. This is the second coat. I'm gonna go ahead and let that flash off. What is flash off, you guys? Basically let it dry a little bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and shoot the third and final coat on the entire truck. So the second coat did go ahead and, you know, fill in where the bundle areas are at, and you can't see the marks no more. It's a nice flat smooth finish throughout the entire truck. Like I mentioned already, I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry off for a little bit and then give it the third and last and final coat. So there you have, you guys. That was about an hour of straight primering the whole exterior of the truck on Auto's LS swapped OBS, and this truck is manual, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera so you guys can see the process on the truck. All right, quedó mi gente. That was the primer stages on Auto's truck. There's still some areas that are still wet. That's why some areas look fresh and some already look dried out. That's because it's drying. But next thing what you want to do is go ahead and grab some guide coat. What exactly is guide coat? So when it comes to high build primer, you always want to shoot guide coat over it. So when it's time to block, you guys can see all the pinholes, all the deep scratches, or any dents that you didn't cover it while you were doing the bodywork process. So what you want to do is grab some guide coat. There are two types of guide coat. There's a spray can, and also there's a powder substance that's also black, which is called guide coat. But I like using the spray can method, and always have your nozzle pointing towards the black area on the can. All the cans have them, and that's exactly where you want the arrow to be, just like that. So what we're gonna go do now is just go ahead and mist the entire truck like this. Basically, this is going to be our guide. So in 24 hours, when we come back to the shop and get ready to block this off with water and sandpaper, you'll see any imperfections that you couldn't see while doing the bodywork process. Like I mentioned already, deep scratches, any baby dents that you couldn't feel, pinholes, all that good stuff, or any holes that the bundle had left. But you want to go ahead and just spray your guide coat on the entire truck, basically giving it the Oreo effect, as I call it here at the shop, the Oreo effect all the way around. And then you always want to pay attention towards the material that you're using. On the can, make sure to read the labels. It'll tell you what's recommended what type of sandpaper to use and all that good stuff. I'll go ahead and show you guys once I'm done shooting this guide coat on the entire truck. But anyways, let's continue shooting the guide coat.
In the city and I'm lurking 63rd. If the brother's on the L, then I think you know the word. All the whiskey in the luggage and it's going to my throat. Everybody in the area ain't messing with the herd. In the city and I'm lurking 63rd. If the brother's on the L, then I think you know the word. All the whiskey in the luggage and it's going to my throat. Everybody in the area ain't messing with the herd.
So guys, as you guys can see, Johnny ya le puso el geico, the Oreo effect, what he likes calling it.
Ah, huevo, mijo.
This is my favorite part of the process, when it looks like you know why we call it the Oreo effect is because, have you ever seen an Oreo, how it looks on the black? It's out black and then the inside is white. So the black is the outside and then the white is the cream part, right?
Ah, huevo.
The best part.
Hell yeah. But there you go, you guys. I went ahead and shot primer, shot the guide coat. Now we got to let this sit for 24 hours. Once 24 hours have passed by, I could come back and start blocking it. There are two ways you could block it. You could block it dry and you can block it wet. But when it comes down to blocking, I like to use the wet method, basically wet blocking. And then you always want to read the instructions and directions on the can. So basically this one says you can sand the surface with 180 to 220 grit. But me, I only like to block and wet sand with 400 grit or 600, which is this one right here with the block. And I'll be showing you guys how to do that process on the next video. But this is basically it when it comes down to shooting the primer, the high build primer from GM Auto Paints and Supplies. Shout out to them for sponsoring this video. But check them out. Like I mentioned already, I'll leave their Instagram page down in the description. That is going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys learned some knowledge off of this on how to shoot primer and all that good stuff. But anyways, I'll see you guys on the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're new to my channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.